Okay, welcome back, everybody. Another week of training here. Not too much going on this week. Pretty standard week of training. Had some different movements that I wasn't quite used to, but body felt really good. Um, so yeah, no complaints on that front. Monday started off our heavy pressing with some. I would call them blast press. That's how I've heard them referred to before. But basically, just doing a push press with the pins set to the bottom of your dip height. Just kind of helps uh, train that train your dip and drive. Um, Obviously, it's a bit more stable as you're starting from a dead stop, um, but just adds a different element. Helps train the overhead press in a different way. Enjoyed it overall. Worked up to, I believe, top set of 3 at 225. So we had 2 sets of 5 and then 2 sets of triples. Or no, this is 220. Yeah, 220. So again, yeah, fairly good weight for me. Obviously, working with a lot more volume in this program we're doing. So definitely feels good to be getting stronger. Oh, I did do 225. Oh, look at me go. All right. Yeah, I gotta get better. I gotta get my notebook out so I can actually tell you exactly what's going on. Usually, I just sit down and do this voiceover about 5 minutes before I post this. But anywho, got a little bit lean back. Not ideal. Would prefer for this to just obviously blast right through. But got it done. You can see before I go and set the pins down, I'm getting my brace set, kind of as you would do a standard press. Get your brace set and then do your dip and drive. So was just kind of working on that, just making sure I was staying tight in the bottom. Um, that's crazy. Anywho, had some seated strict press. This is, what do we got here? What's that? 130, 140. Moved pretty well. Strict press for me, obviously not very strong. So getting that after some heavy volume on push press was nice. Then we moved over to some bench, a couple sets of 10. Obviously had to back the weight down a little bit after all the volume, but moved fairly well. I had some pain. Whoa, had some pain in my kind of bicep area as I was coming down. I thought about switching over to the Swiss bar for a neutral grip. But after I kind of rolled it and stretched it out a little bit, it felt okay. So I'm not sure what that was all about. Definitely going to keep an eye on that and make sure that I'm keeping everything healthy. Finished up with a whole bunch of triceps and some upper back stuff. You can see here just working on the standard push downs. I prefer using a wider grip on these. Sometimes you see guys getting in real close, and I think that obviously it's not the position you're going to be pressing in overhead as you're pushing down, but if you can at least simulate the your press width with your hands, at least gets a bit more carryover, or kind of puts you in the similar position. And then Tuesday, this was just a rude program decision here. We had a 5 second negative SSB squats for I think sets of 5. But there was too much counting going on in my head. I had to count to 5 and then count my reps all the way to 5. And yeah, my brain doesn't work too well, so I did a couple sets of 6. I think I did a set of 4 maybe, but extra work. It all evened out. So you can see the weight there. We got, what do we got? 225, 75, 95. I believe top set here was 305. So definitely not that heavy. But again, working the negative and also working on controlling the camber on the SSB was good. It was a different challenge. I can't say that I enjoyed it, but I think we got them programmed in the future. So I guess I'm gonna have to learn to love it. The other thing I was working on here was making sure that I'm actually driving my knee forward. I found even in my warm ups, I was really just shooting my hips back and keeping my shins vertical. which is a fine way to squat, but it's not what I'm trying to work on, especially with the SSB. Trying to simulate, things like your like sandbag stones, things that kind of carry over more to the strongman movements. So just working on finding that balance of driving the knee forward and staying kind of vertical. And then we had some 18-inch pulls. Kept these fairly light, all things considered. I tried to match my 13-inch pulls from last week. Just trying to regulate some of the volume. I got a little bit too excited last week and um, uh, ended up kind of burning out, or not burning out, but just overworking myself, getting a little bit too sore by the time the Saturday rolled around. So yeah, all is well. Made up for the weight on the SSB with these front squats. Maybe that's not the right thing to say. Didn't push the weight too much, but definitely worked on keeping the rest times down. And again, doing these with the deadlift bar adds a different challenge. So got some good volume. I believe this was 235. So yeah, not all that heavy, but just trying to work on keeping the brace tight, staying upright, and especially on these, driving the knee forward, getting a lot of emphasis on the quad and the anterior. Yeah, right. That's right. The anterior chain, front of the body. But obviously your upper back has to work a whole bunch trying to keep that bar upright. So I do like doing front squats. Oh no, it's 245. Ah, look at me. Oh no, it's not. Those are 55-pound bumpers. Oh jeez, I can't do math, guys. God, I'm struggling today. The volume on all those squats caught up to me when we had split squats. Typically, I can load at least 135. I did. I put a plate on each side, went down, did a double, and said nope. So dropped her right back to just a couple tens there, and four sets of 10 to 12. So got those done. I had a sore butt the next day, so if you're looking for a big butt, oh my god, this is out of control. Um, Last thing of the day was some calf raises, uh, with a little bit of a pause at the top and the bottom, and then blast out a last set of 10. So sets of 20 total. I kind of cut it in half because it's kind of just boring watching calf raises. Thursday was our second overhead day. The program said strict log press, but my log is 155 empty, and right now it's just a bit above my pay grade. So I was working the Swiss bar. It has the same, the handles that I'm using there are the same width as my log, and with it being cambered, it almost is the same. It's at least similar. You can see I'm trying to get that thoracic extension and keep my head upright as I would have to with the log. But yeah, moved pretty well. And then for the last set, I broke the log out and did a triple at 160. So yeah, again, obviously it's not that heavy, but relative to me, it is pretty good, and it moved really well. I think my biggest struggle with strict press is that first like 4 or 5 inches off the chest, because once I can get it kind of forehead or eye level, I'm a lot stronger in that position. But yeah, we'll keep working on it, keep getting stronger. And then we had, I want to say, close grip bench after a couple other shoulder accessories. So all considered, this moved fairly well. Looks like maybe 200, 205. 4 sets 10. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I just got to talk about my sleeves here. So I've got the Cerberus, the triple ply sleeves, and I love them. They add a lot of pop, on the press. But these are definitely a size too small because I cannot keep them on any longer than I have to. So I've got some sized up ones in the mail. They're coming. So I should have them for this next week of training, and I'll report back because I know you're all eager to hear about my sleeve adventures. You can see there, I just kind of cramped up in the chest a little bit before grinding out the last rep. So I just had to take a second, stretch it out, make sure it wasn't going to fully cramp on me. So I just came back and got this 10th rep in, and then did a bunch of accessories, a whole bunch of triceps, some face pulls, and some other shoulder work. Deadlift day. This day got rushed quite a bit. I was running behind schedule a little bit, and then had hockey to get to right after this session. But sets of 6, standard height deadlifts. Worked up to, I want to say, 445. Maybe it was 440 even. So again, pretty good weight for me. I would like to drive my deadlift up a bit more, but who doesn't? So we'll get there. Just got to put a lot of groundwork in, get some more reps in, and we'll keep building. Excited to see what this season's going to bring. Still not sure if I'll be competing at the end of March. As of today, we kind of moved on in our playoff shit for hockey. So I'm, I don't know, a little bit torn, but guess we'll just see what happens. We had dumbbell stiff legs for a set of 20. I was kind of just pulsing them out. I wasn't worried too much about holding at the top or bottom. Just kind of bang these out. I want to say those are 70 pounds, maybe 80 pounds. But yeah, those sucked a lot more than they should have. I didn't record anymore, but did a whole bunch of back work, a bunch of pull downs, low rows, some Pendlay rows, and then some other single arm stuff. Saturday event day, we started with some farmers holds, and the weight I kept fairly light. I don't know what it is about just standing doing a hold, but man, it makes it way harder on the mental than having to move with the weight. But anywho, grip is still feeling strong, so that's good. Then we did some Zercher yoke, which I actually really enjoyed. Worked up to, I believe this is about 405, maybe 415. 415, so kind of 20-foot runs there, maybe a couple feet with the width of the yoke, but moved really well. I would like to do those again, maybe put the pin a bit lower and work on keeping it higher on the chest. But anywho, programmed was Circus dumbbell. I'm currently loaning out my dumbbell to Big Brad, prepping for the Arnold. So said that a few times with my Axel, so he's got my dumbbell too. So good luck, buddy. He was competing this weekend up in Sudbury, doing the Static Monster show. So I know he didn't have the best performance. He's a little bit disappointed with his log, but man, that guy's so fucking strong. He's gonna come back. I'm fucking excited to see what he can do with the Arnolds. That guy's a monster. Yeah, finished up with some sandbags. We're loading to, I believe the bar was about 57, 58 inches. So it's pretty high. But obviously it's better to train higher than you're going to compete at. Because, then competition feels easy. The bag, I had it loaded to 250, but with how floppy it is, I think it must have dried out a bit. So I'm guessing it's around 235, maybe 240. But 250 sounds like a nicer number, so let's just say it's that. Sets of 5, I got pretty gassed out by the time the 5th rep rolled around. Again, need to work on the conditioning and stuff. But, what strongman doesn't need better conditioning? A little disappointed that on a few of these I kind of had to push them over. Would like to be able to just pop it right up. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get more explosive, get better at rolling that bag up higher on the chest and such. But I tried to get a more side view with the camera here, just so I could kind of see how I was extending, see how I was rolling the bag. But yeah, no complaints. Everything moved well. Body feels pretty good. And I'm excited to get fucking rolling this season, man. I'm getting the itch to compete. I was watching everybody compete this past weekend, and I was getting fired up. So I'll see how it goes. That's about all I got for you. Um, yeah, that's all I got. So, I'll be back next week with some more training. And yeah, have a good one.